everyone. It's Donna Reed here with Debbie Kilsheimer, and you're watching Bookkeepers on Fire, where we lift up bookkeepers who lead with heart, power, and purpose. We celebrate your expertise, we challenge the status quo, and we equip you to serve boldly. Today, our guest is Heather Satterley, and we're honored to have Heather with us today. We can't wait for you to meet her, so let's ignite together.
Hey, Heather, thanks for joining us today. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I forgot that's
Yeah.
coming.
Thanks for having me on. This is great. And your little polka, I challenge you to do that polka live at Scaling New Heights in the exhibit hall. We're gonna have to figure out how to have you guys do that.
Okay, we're game.
No problem. We're in. We'll be
All right.
there.
All right.
That song because it was peppy.
Yeah.
I like it. It's amazing. I love it. I love it.
Maybe we can throw a comedy routine in with that too.
Oh yeah, you heard about
Yeah.
your comedy class. It's
That's fun. How is that going? You're doing an improv class, right?
no, we actually took a comedy class to learn how to do.
Oh, you did. Fun.
Yep.
We posted them on YouTube, our YouTube channel.
Oh, that's
So this
awesome.
channel has it that everyone's watching, has our two our routines, our first ones. I'm working on another one.
Nice.
So
And this is not to become a stand-up. It's just for people to get inspired to get out of their comfort zone. You know, do something they
yeah, we're not going to clubs.
We're
No.
not going to be Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh, funny.
So Heather, tell us about what it is you do now. I know what you do. So tell us what you're doing now.
Yeah. So my day job is I am the director of education and media at Woodard, which is the organization that produces the Scaling New Heights conference in Orlando every year. We also have a practice advancement program where we provide coaching, education, and resources for accounting professionals. And our vision over here is we empower advisors who enrich small business. So that is what we do. We also have a consulting arm of Woodard, which is led by Deb Deffer, and where she goes into firms and actually does the consulting to help them through the practice advancement. So that's what we do over here at Woodard. And then as my kind of side hustle, I have the Happy Hour with Liz and Heather, which is a bi-monthly webinar series that we do about technology. And we actually have one today. After I'm done here, I got to go jump on that. So,
This has been out for a long time. That podcast has been around a long time.
it has, and it's gone by so fast, right? But yeah, we're in our 9th season, believe it or not. So it's crazy to think that we've been doing this for that long. So,
And it's great because you get a lot of technology and it introduces us to stuff that we would never have known of otherwise.
yeah, we actually have a new app coming on today at 4 called Worthy, and
Okay.
they do have you've probably heard of them, but they're new to the space, and they're going to be showing us what they've created. It's an AI powered app that does a couple of things. It's got financial dashboards that you can share with your clients. It's got spend management, so it's got a card, kind of like Brex or Bill, right? And then they also have the month-end close utility, and it's client-wide. So it was started by one of the leaders at Intuit. So we're going to be highlighting them today, which I'm really excited. We're going to do a demo and learn about all they offer, and then they have a special offer for the folks that show up.
Yeah, they were at Reframe.
Yeah,
They're one of the Reframe sponsors. Yeah, it's really cool.
it is cool.
So now do you have a master's degree in innovation?
I do. So I went back to school in 2017, and I took a brand new program at Northeastern University, their College of Business, Master's of Science and Innovation. And we were the second class. So my cohort, and there was probably about, let's say there was like 13 to 15 of us that went through that second cohort. It was an 18-month program, and I graduated in 2019. It was really fun.
So what does that mean? You're a master of innovation. You can what does that mean?
Well, I hold a master's degree of innovation. So what that program was, it's a management program. So similar to an MBA, right? It's a master's of science in innovation. And the program was developed to really train leaders of organizations on how to manage teams that innovate. So the reason that I chose that program was because, you know, I've always been very deeply embedded in technology in the accounting space, and I knew that we were going through this change, right? This big change from cloud to AI, that there was a lot of change ahead of us. And so one of the things that I really wanted to learn was, number one, how do these developers think? So how do they come up with the ideas? How do they solve the problems? What's going on in their heads, right? When they're coming up with a new innovation for the accounting space. I also wanted to understand, how do we help each other as accounting professionals innovate in the space with all of this change going on around us, new technology coming in. We're going through a talent shortage. We're now offshoring to other countries and onshoring inside the US from people from other countries. We are, our industry, we're in a state of perpetual change. And
Hmm.
so I wanted to learn, how do we as an industry tap into these techniques that the developers use to get us to buy their products and to reinvent how we do things. How do we do that? And so that's why I chose that program. It was fascinating, I think, and the most I think the most impactful class that I took throughout the whole 18-month program was change leadership. Was actually understanding change, understanding people's aversion to change, and the different players that that we see, so that how people react to change. And so understanding that really helped me when I'm in a situation where we need to facilitate change, understand what people are feeling, and the empathy, have empathy for them. To
How do you do that then? If there's a big change coming, what's
yeah.
the tip?
Well, I mean, there's key that I think that the key things that you have to focus on are empathy, understanding that everybody's going to have an emotional response to change, and to lean into the fact that, to walk in and say, "Hey, this is going to be easy," is a kiss of death, right?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
as
Yes.
soon as you do that, yeah, you invalidate their feelings, and they
Yeah.
feel helpless, right? So there's
Mhm.
empathy, leading with empathy, having a plan, not jumping into the change without a plan, right? And communication, right? Communicating with people why you're doing what you're doing, what the benefits are going to be to them for doing the change or making the change, and then how are you going to involve them in the change, and making sure that they have a safe place to voice their concerns, to contribute their ideas, and to really forge their own path through the change with you supporting them. So I think that's kind of the secret levers that we need to pull and be mindful of when we're helping a client through implementing a new technology, or even a new process that we're doing within our practice, helping them understand a new tax law, helping them understand a new regulation. All of that, those four things are what they're looking for from us. And that's really what makes us professionals, right? Is that we
Right.
can navigate that. And the cool part is that accountants, we're actually wired for this, right? It's kind of what we do. That's why clients like to engage with us.
Do you think this AI revolution is a huge innovation change, or is it just another one along the way, like moving to cloud, moving to this? It's like, okay, now it's AI. Do you think this is a real revolutionary thing?
Yeah, this will fundamentally change not just the accounting industry, it's going to change our world. It's going to change how we work, it's going to change how we show up, it's going to, in a lot of cases, remove work. At Scaling New Heights this year, we're bringing back Daniel Susskind, who wrote The Future of the Professions, and then he just wrote A World Without Work, and that's what he's going to be talking about at Scaling New Heights this year, the fact that this technology really can do the things that we did. So how do we exist in it, and how do we adapt to the fact that a lot of the things that we do, and the value and the identity that we have from our professional persona could eventually disappear, right? Now, we're going to be talking about that. I certainly don't have all the answers. I think it's fascinating. I think for us to be kind of forging our way through this, I'm going to say revolution,
Hmm.
we're going to
Yeah,
have to pay attention,
absolutely.
right? We're going to have to pay
Mhm.
attention. We're going to have to ask the hard questions, like really hard questions, not hard questions about how is this going to affect my workflow and how is this going to affect my client, but how is this going to affect humanity? How is this going to affect how I relate to my clients? I think those are the really big questions that people aren't paying enough attention to.
Right, because I do think you can get. I look at it like the AI to me is going to take away the drudgery work that we are used to doing as accountants, which allows us frees our mind to be add the creative bit to the accounting. And what I mean by creative is we can find out, well, why did they start the business? What do they want from it? What do I always use the analogy of the doctor. You read the lab report, the blood work, and put it into
Mhm.
ChatGPT, and it'll tell you your cholesterol's high. Don't eat so much bacon. But I want to tell the doctor to tell me that. See, what can you read between the lines? And I think as accountants, the AI can do the lab work,
Yes,
and then we have to read between the lines to say, okay, what's your goal, Mr. Client?
that's right.
How are we going to get there? And then I think we have to learn as accountants to really learn how to communicate and talk to people instead of hiding behind balance sheets and profit and losses.
To be human.
Yes.
We need to be
Yes,
human. We need to
yes.
be real and communicate and lean in and be there. You
Yes.
know, I think I think what AI is doing now, and there's been a lot of studies recently that have come out this year saying that companies are investing a lot of money in AI without seeing a lot of return.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
my thought, and I'm certainly, I don't consider myself an AI expert. I would say that I feel like I'm pretty well versed in AI,
Mhm.
or at least in how it's affecting our industry in the world. But I think, I think that I completely just lost my train of thought. Like totally
What
out of it.
While you're getting it back, though, I do want to say one thing. I know, like, I'm fully embracing AI in everything I do, business, my work, my life, and everything. And it's forcing me at my age to become more creative in the way I think. And it's changing the way I think about everything.
Yeah.
So I love it. I'm like, oh
I do
my
too.
God, this is awesome. So I'm like constantly learning something else. I'm taking courses on how to write really great prompts. I'm
Hmm.
getting certified in that. I'm like, oh my gosh, this changes everything. And it's making me be the person in my brain that I always wanted to be. And
Yeah.
it's like,
I love
yeah,
that.
it's like, oh man, this is the way that, like, in my brain, this is all the stuff I want to do. I just know how to do it. And AI is there helping me along the way.
Well, I remember when I
So
was
I
young.
love it.
I'm a lot older than both of
Yeah.
you. We used to have encyclopedias. Remember those? There were
Mhm.
books,
Oh
Yep.
yeah. Yep.
and if you wanted to learn something, you would go get the encyclopedia and look it up and write a report. Then along comes Google, so then you can Google everything. And now comes ChatGPT, which is my new boyfriend. So if I want to know anything, I ask ChatGPT, and then if I really want to double check, I'll ask Claude, my other boyfriend. And then I might even ask Gemini.
Right.
you know, to say, well, and so it can gather all the data for me to then to look at it and say, okay, this is how I'm going to use this stuff to think.
Yeah, it is. You're right. Fundamentally changed the way that I work as well. Not just in my job. I've been using Chat GPT. I'm Team Chat GPT, and I also dabble with Claude and I haven't gone too deep into Gemini at all. But I have used Claude and I've used Perplexity.
Hmm.
And now I'm
Mhm.
starting to use specialty apps like Gamma app, right? Which
Oh, I
is
Yes.
just tried that
awesome.
Oh
myself.
gosh.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
So yeah, I've been doing that, and you're right. It's amazing. It really has shortened the amount of time that it takes me to do things. It's allowed me um to really like become a superpower of DIY, right? Like if I need to fix
Yeah.
something on a website or in Zapier or in any application, it's got all the manuals. But one
Yep.
of the things that's really cool is I also have a personal Chat GPT account. And that has helped me. You guys know I brought, or maybe you don't know, but I bought a farm over the
Yeah.
summer. And so now I have a farm. I live here. My mom's with me a lot, but I'm here managing the farm essentially by myself. And so I've learned how to fix tractors. I have figured out what a flying squirrel is just by taking pictures of things. Like my tractor broke and I needed to fix it. And I'm like, well, I got to fix this because I got to mow the lawn. And so
Well,
I,
just right before the show, what did you learn?
yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. Right before we were talking about my horse. So today my horse had her teeth floated. And I said to you, I wonder why it's called floating. And so we asked ChatGPT why it was called floating. And we found out it's because that's what they call the file that they use
Yeah.
to file the tooth. Yeah.
Amazing. I mean, we're so smart,
So smart. And it gave us pictures.
and yeah.
So yeah.
Now,
We could have got a video on the whole thing if we kept going, but we had to go live.
yeah, really.
Right? Yeah. No, it's
fun.
pretty amazing.
Now, you had an exciting event happen last week or the week before. What was it?
I did. So I have a new grandson named Callum. So my daughter Chloe and her husband Brandon welcomed Callum into the world in November. So right before Thanksgiving. So I was there for just about 2 weeks, helping them kind of get settled in. And he is just a love bug. So
Is that your first one or second or?
no, he's actually 5. So I have 4 step grandchildren from our oldest, Megan, who you met at Appy Camp.
Yeah.
Deb. So her oldest is 13 and her youngest is 5.
So what's your grandma name?
Nani.
Nani.
I'm Nani. Yeah.
Well, mine is Lolly. And
I love that.
Hal's is Pop.
Pop,
So
I
together
like.
we're Lollipop.
Yeah. Lollipop. That is
Lollipop.
hilarious. That's amazing.
That's so them. That's
Did they
so
come
them
up
for
with it
doing
on
that.
their own?
I helped ChatGPT help me.
Oh my God.
But that's exciting. But your first love is really horses. Tell us about Harley.
My first love is my kids for sure.
Well,
And my
Yeah,
grand- and
we
my-
know that. Yeah.
But yes, I do love horses. I've loved horses since I was a young child. It was always a dream of mine to own a horse. And honestly, it was something that I didn't think I would ever realize in my life. And, one of the things that during COVID that we did is we did programs like to connect people. And so I took a women's leadership program with an organization called Elevate, which is run by Sarah Elliott,
Mhm.
who's a CPA. And on the first day, she asked us to write down all the things we were going to do when we were kids. And so at the very top of my list was own a horse. And so the next day after we wrote the list, she's like, so you have to ask yourself, do you still want to do it? Why haven't you done it? And if you still want to do it, can you do it? And the answer was, yes, I would still like to do it. I didn't do it because I had raised a family, and wow, my kids are all in college and I can do it. So I did. So I signed up for riding lessons, I think that week. And 6 months later, I bought Marley.
Now, you didn't have the
horse
Where
barn.
did you store her? Where did she stay?
So I have a barn on the property.
But you
So
didn't have the property then, did you?
oh no, I didn't have a property then. So I bought her she was my school horse. So when I started taking lessons, she was the horse I was assigned. And
Okay.
so we just developed a bond. And one day the trainer was like, hey, you want to buy her? And I'm like, yeah, I do. So I bought her. And so I rented stalls for, I've had her almost 4.5 years. So I rented stalls at various barns right up until I bought the property here in July. And then I moved her into my backyard. So now it's like, I can't believe it. Every day I wake up and I get up and I look outside when I'm making my coffee and there she is. And now I have 2 horses. I have a horse named Smokey now who looks like Barbie's horse. He's a Palomino.
So why did you get number 2? To keep Harley company?
Yes.
Or Marley? Was it Marley or Harley?
It's Marley. It's Marley. Yeah.
Harley company?
Yes. Yeah. So that's actually a joke among horse people is that you get your horse a companion horse and then you have to get your companion horse a companion horse. And that's how you end up with like lots and lots of horses.
Right.
But
Now, is it everything you thought it would be? Is it harder than you thought it would be? Like,
no. So I think that, you know, being in these other barns for 4 years essentially taught me what I needed to know to do it on my own. Now, one of the things that really prepared me for bringing them home was I had them boarded at show facilities. So the show facilities are stables where, people bring their horses and they take lessons there, and basically they do everything for you. They feed your horse, they clean your horse's stall if you want. That if you need them to exercise your horse, like if you can't go out and ride, they'll do that for you. And that's great, except for the fact that it limits your ability to learn how to handle that kind of stuff on your own. And there's a lot to it. Horses colic, they get hurt, and you have to know what to do. Like, you need to be able to manage, handle an emergency. And then the other thing is they're they're typically 1,000 to 1,200 or more pounds.
yeah.
So they are very large, and they're dangerous. I mean, equestrian accidents are like number 6 on the way people get hurt. I don't know that it's die, but I think it's emergency visits. Is
Well,
actually,
Patricia from the Woodard group, she was wearing a boot, wasn't it? Because she fell off a horse.
oh yeah, she falls off horses. She's gonna get seems to fall off horses quite a bit.
Horses all the time.
But to qualify that is not unusual at all. Like,
Okay.
Okay. I know the last scaling, she didn't have a boot on. I'm like, where's your boot?
Yeah, well, I remember when I started taking the lessons, I said to my trainer during one of the lessons, I'm like, so if I fall off, and she's like, whoa, stop. She's like, right now we have to level set. She's like, it's not if. If you think it's if, you need to rethink whether you want to be doing this sport, because you will fall off, you will break something. And she was right. I did. I mean, about 6 weeks after I bought Marley, I did fall off and I cracked my sacrum, which is the your pelvis, that little triangle.
Yeah, tailbone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I cracked my sacrum. So, it just comes with the territory. I mean, I can be out there today when we were doing the float, Marley got a little bit spooked, and, if you have to know how to move around them, you have to know how to stay calm.
So all those things you learned with change management, you have to do on your horse.
Yeah, you really do. But where I was going with it before is having these, being in these barns where they do everything for you.
Yeah.
Where the magic happened was about 2 years ago, I moved Marley to someone else's backyard. And it was a co-op barn where we shared the feeding work. So 3 days a week, I'd have to feed everyone's horses and turn them out, meaning just walk them to their paddock and let them out. But I had to do everything. So if Marley spooked, I couldn't call the barn manager over and say, "Hey, Marley's spooking, fix it for me." I had to deal with it. So I had to do the hard work to learn how to trust her. And I had been so focused on getting her to trust me that I kind of forgot about the part that I have to trust her. So that was the big epiphany. And by having her there for about a year and a half, I was very nervous to bring them home, and worried that I might not have what it takes to handle an emergency, but I do. And
Wait.
so,
If you could substitute running an accounting firm for having a horse, everything you just said, I'm thinking, that's exactly how we run an accounting firm.
It is. The same stuff.
And there's no friends. You have to trust the client. They can just substitute the word.
They can sense your fear. Like, clients can sense your fear. If you're not confident in what you're saying, they're like, and then, things can go awry that way.
And you break your back during tax season every year.
Break your back during tax season. And they can be very expensive if you don't manage them right.
How to get your training? Well, you could write a whole.
When you fall off,
right?
It's like when you make a mistake, when you fall off, the same thing. It's gonna happen.
I see a book in your future, Heather.
I'm actually working on a book. I'm actually.
Are you?
Who knows when it'll be done, but I am working on it.
Is it a fiction book, a business book? What's it about?
It's about mindset. So it's about mindset. One of the things another miracle that happened from this whole journey with the horses is has to do with four-leaf clover. So I don't know if you guys noticed on my Facebook page that I share an awful lot of four-leaf clovers on social media, and so there's this whole story behind that that I am putting into a book, and it's really about manifestation and belief and not holding yourself back, and changing the narrative that you tell yourself about what you're capable of. And so that is really what the book is about, is
So
finding.
tell us the four-leaf clover story.
Sure, I'd love to. So I don't know about you. I'm going to ask you guys. Were you the little kids like me that, you search the ground for four-leaf clovers?
Yep.
Looking for one? Yeah.
Yep.
Have you ever
Absolutely.
found one? Have you ever found a four-leaf clover?
Yes.
Many
You
times.
have.
I
Do you
have
find
many
them a lot?
times.
Many times.
You find
When
them
I
a lot?
was little, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I never did. So I never did. I would look and I'd look and I could not find a four-leaf clover. And so when I got older, about 50 something, I started to kind of lament that. I was like, I really want to find a four-leaf clover. And how that came about was I was at a soccer game for my niece, Riley, and I was talking to my sister, and Riley ran up and handed me a four-leaf clover. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you found a four. I didn't know everybody finds four-leaf clovers. I had no idea. I just knew I didn't find them. So she gave it to me. I'm like, that's amazing. I can't believe you found it. I can't believe you're giving it to me. And she's like, I find them all the time. She goes running away. And I'm like, what? You find them all the time? How do you find them all the time? Like, they're mythical things. Like, you don't
Yeah.
find them all the
They're
time.
like leprechauns.
Right. They're like leprechauns. So anyway, I kind of stuck with me. And when Liz and I were at our last site visit, right before the very first Appy camp, we were walking across a field at the Mountain Lake Lodge that was full of clover. And I just looked down at the clover, and I remember I looked over to Liz and I was like, I would really like to find a four-leaf clover. It's like one of those things I wanted to do as a kid. I would love to do that. And then just offhandedly, I said to myself silently in my head, what if they're all four-leaf clovers? And so I just started saying that in my head. Every time I'd see a clover and be in clover, I'd be like, they're all four-leaf clovers. They're all four-leaf clovers. So, and I'm in a clover a lot, just so you know, because I have a horse and horses graze. And when you're grazing them, you're looking at a lot of clover. So about definitely within a month, but I'm going to say somewhere around 2 weeks after that happened. And after saying they're all four-leaf clovers in my head, just kind of, saying that, I went to the barn and I was getting out of my car and I looked down and right next to my foot was a four-leaf clover. And I was like, I did it. I found a four-leaf clover. It was like the coolest thing. I took a picture. I was so excited. I remember I took a picture and sent it to Liz. I pressed it in a book. I don't know where that book is, but it's somewhere in my library. And I just thought that was so amazing. I'm like, I did it. I found a four-leaf clover and I thought I was done. Well, about a week later, I found another one. And then I found another one. And then I found a 5-leaf clover. And then I found a 6-leaf clover. And then I found a 7-leaf clover. And I don't know exactly how many 4-leaf clovers I have found, but for the month of June, I actually made it a point. I'm like, I want to find a 4-leaf clover every single day for the month of June. And I did, except for when I was in Florida for Scaling New Heights. I found a 4-leaf clover
Well, we're all four-leaf clovers and you're walking around you. So
everywhere. Yes. And, and now I have one. Liz gave me a bracelet or not Liz, my friend Connie gave me a little bracelet with a 4-leaf clover on it. And so I wear that all the time. But it's interesting because the last place that I lived, I had them in my yard and I could just walk out and be like, there's one. I just had a ton of them. And this new property, they're here, but they're a lot harder to find. And the reason for that is because they're so dense. So they're, when they're more spread out, your brain can recognize the pattern. And what really what the book is about and kind of the theme through it is that without realizing it, I had retrained my brain to recognize that 4-leaf clover pattern among a bunch of regular 3-leaf clovers just by saying it. And so what the book is about is what you tell yourself you can do is what you're able to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could always go home, Dorothy. You
could always go home. Exactly. It's exactly right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's so true. I know, because I
Yep.
took the TOPS class with Misty. I know you took it too. And she said, "What do you want to be, Debbie?" And I said, "I want to be like Simon Sinek and Brene Brown and Mel Robbins." If you're going to dream, why not dream big?
Oh, absolutely.
Doesn't cost
No.
any less. Of course,
Nope.
you got the naysayers. I'm married to
You
one.
you you have the naysayers, but they own that,
Yeah.
right?
They go, "Well, what makes
They
you think
own
you're
that.
going to do that at your age?" You know what? If I never try, I'll never do it.
Exactly.
I
That's
remember when
exactly right.
the Firm of the Future thing came out. Remember that a long time ago? QuickBooks
Yeah,
Intuit Connect. And I said, "I'm trying for that." Hal goes, "You'll never win. I'm guaranteed not to win if I don't try it."
that's right.
And
Yep.
I did it, and we did win. And I said, "See?"
Mhm.
It's like I don't understand your thinking. You buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah. It it's true, and, if I could say anything to your viewers and listeners, it's you really do hold the key to what you can accomplish. And yes, there's external things that we have to deal with. Yes, there are, there's things that we don't have control over, and that's okay. That's actually the beauty of it. It's putting your energy towards the things that light you up
Yep.
and not giving any of your energy to the things that make you unhappy. It's just don't give them any of your energy. Yes, that's you fall and you break your tailbone when you fall off a horse. Well, I just had a great ride on my horse and I'm going to heal and
And
I'm
you
gonna,
might meet a cute doctor.
yeah, and I have a great doctor and and hard things happen. I'm not saying to
Right.
diminish them. They're
Right.
hard. But if you can just find that one thing, just that one thing that is magical, or beautiful, and just stop for a minute and appreciate that, it really does change your whole mindset.
Right.
Um,
So true. I mean, if you
Yep.
hang around with naysayers, that's what you'll become.
that's right.
So
Yeah.
hang around, people that are in the Woodard group who are
Yep.
always positive and lifting people up,
Yeah.
and make sure you always watch Bookkeepers on Fire. Um, but
Take your shots,
yeah,
like big, big swing. Oh, I'm swinging big like all the time now. It's like I don't
Good.
even care anymore. I'm just swinging big all the time, and like sometimes it's a no, but more times it's a yes.
That's right.
And so
well, the best
like,
baseball hitters. I mean, what Ted Williams had the baseball average, and his average is what 309 or something. That means he missed 7 out of 10 pitches.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you don't swing big, you won't swing at all.
That it's so true. And it's and you won't get them all. You won't get them all. And that's okay.
but if you
Um,
get one, you're okay. I mean,
exactly.
I get
I think it's
one
the
like
journey.
every so often, and I'm like, woo, this is
I
cool.
know she called me so excited today. Her Donna's first article for the Woodard Report was published today.
That's right. That's right. It was. And
I'm
it's
published.
And I was, oh my
and
gosh,
you crammed so much good stuff into that article. It probably could have been 2 or 3 articles.
I know, I know. I'm like, is this too much? I'm like, oh, my brain, like, I'm like, is this too much? Because this deals with like, really like 40 years of me saying I couldn't do something,
Mhm.
and then Deb over here says, get a Kindle, and I'm
Yeah,
like, oh, okay, I'll get one. Then I got $100. I won a contest and got $100, and like, all right, I'll buy one. And I bought one, and oh my god, like I've read 4 books already, and
Yeah.
it's been
I
like,
mean, I told her, well, get a Kindle. I mean, it's so nice to have a friend you can kind of do stuff with. She
yeah.
inspires me. I inspire her. It's kind of fun.
I love that.
And it changed my whole way because I thought I could never do something that I really wanted to do because I couldn't absorb the information the way other people could. But now with the Kindle, and by the way, 30 years of learning how to remap my brain so I could read it right.
Yeah.
But the tool made all the difference. But no one ever said that to me until Deb said, just try a Kindle.
That's awesome.
I was like, yeah,
Audiobooks were something for me is, and
yeah,
when I was reading the beginning of your article and you're talking about the whole thing about flipping the pages and like that expectation, and you talk about audio books.
yeah.
That was something that I didn't put a lot of stock in, but I love it. I started doing it, and now that's really one of the main ways that I consume books is by listening to them. So,
I like to buy. I just subscribed today to some thing that will condense the books, give you a one pager,
mhm.
So you can see, okay, that's a book I want to get because I tell you, listened to Soul of Enterprise and Ron Baker. I just stalk him, and every time he's on anywhere, he says, "I just read this new book." Of course, I have to Google it and buy it. How does he read so many books? I thought, well, this will be my shortcut to see. Okay, that's a book I want to learn more about.
Is
And
it Blinkist? Is that the name of it?
I have, and this was
Yeah.
something else that gave more intense. Of course, I had a chat GPT to see if it was worth it.
Got it. Right.
I just subscribed this morning to it. In fact, short form, it's called.
Short form. Okay. Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah.
I use Blinkist and I like it. But I got it for the very reason that you just said. I got it because, I want to know is it worth it to invest the time to actually read
I
the book?
know we're such accountants, aren't we?
We really are. Yeah. I just finished a book called Flux by April Ryan, and she's going to be a keynote speaker at Scaling Your Heights. And
Great.
so good. It's so,
okay. So I just have to get that one, Donna, so I can be prepared when the speakers come.
Yeah, it's Flux. The 8 superpowers of existing in a world of flux is the book, and it's fantastic. Fantastic.
Did you audio it or did you read it?
I audioed it. I actually bought the book because I'm hoping that she'll sign it for me.
Oh.
And also there's workbook exercises, like there's questions that you can journal about, and so I wanted to have that too. So I do have it, but I listened to it. And
I talked about last year when you had, who was the guy that, the 4 things you can't remember? David
Allen.
Oh,
that guy, David Allen.
That guy, David Allen.
In the bar.
After one of the days, it was in the evening, and I'm walking to the bar at the Marriott, and he's sitting at a table all by himself. Well, I plopped right down.
I saw you, and I remember going to the team. We went up to the suite, and I walk in, I'm like, Deborah Kilsheimer is like sitting with David Allen. Just
that's why I was. I
was up in the suite with you. I know, I'm in the suite with her. I didn't know that you had said that part. And she's down there doing that. And afterwards she tells me, I'm like, why didn't you text me? I would have been like, out of the suite, down the elevator, running.
I got a whole hour with this guy. It was great. He told me all about it. I moved there. I'm thinking, Jesus, all of these stars are people too.
They are, yeah. And it was funny. In 2 years ago, 2 scalings ago, we had Michio Kaku, who is a theoretical physicist, right? And he was speaking about quantum. And so I got to spend, based on my role, not a lot of time with him, but time with him. And so I had some really cool conversations with him. And he also is very, very humble and super smart, but also just a delight to talk to. So, that's definitely one of the perks of my job is that.
Well, I tell you what, the speakers my favorite part of scaling. Well, everything is my favorite part of scaling. I really like the keynotes. My favorite keynote speaker though was Joe.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He could just do every keynote. I'd be happy. And I sit in the front row on the corner. I mean, so but the keynote speakers to me are the like David Allen was there. You had the Olympian last year, of course, Jeannie Whitehouse, and then Brittany Brown. Mm-hmm. And one day Deborah Kilsheimer will be up there.
Yeah, we're gonna work on that one.
Yeah, we're working on that one.
Get you on that.
From the stage. I mean, literally, like half the people that were up there were saying, and Deb, and I'm like, oh my God.
Deb, you were up there. You were up there when Nicole Davis.
I was in the choir. I got up there because I thought I'm getting up on that stage one way or another.
You did, and you did.
I had to sing for my supper to get on that. That was fun.
It was really fun.
But it's just the whole scaling event is so fabulous to me. And you go up from sundown to, sun up to sundown. And how many vendors are going to be there this year? Do you have any idea?
I believe it's 150.
Wow.
Yeah. I believe we have 150 vendors that will be on the exhibit hall show floor. And and we're working on the lineup. We're hoping to have that published out by the end of January, before just ahead of our Groundhog Day sale. So we're
I just think everybody should go. I've been to every scaling except number 2.
I started going in 2014, and I agree. I couldn't agree more. I mean, it was transformative for me as a professional. You know, I've had two practices before I worked with Woodard. I had my own firm. I had one and then merged into another firm and then started over again and then sold that firm. So it definitely was. I remember going to scaling and being like, I found my people. Like,
Yep.
Yep.
I found my
My
people.
first one I went to, I found my people, then
Yeah.
COVID hit.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first one, I'm like, wow, these are my people.
Yeah.
Other people
I
think
never
like me.
knew.
Hmm.
They get
Yeah.
excited about a bank wreck. They talk about the
Yeah.
tables in Excel.
Right.
It was fabulous. I know. I love going every year. It's just the highlight. Now that's and I love it that it's in Orlando.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, because I just
Well, she does.
yeah.
I
It's
have to
not
make
a lot
two
to do.
flights.
Disney World. She can go to Disney World for a couple days after.
Yes, I make it worth it because I go to Disney World for 4 days after.
Well, we have an airline now here in the Providence area that goes direct to Orlando from Providence, and so that's been lovely. Breeze Airlines does
Oh
that, and
yeah.
it's a great airline. I like flying Breeze.
So, and how many people go to scaling every year? Is what 2,000, 3,000?
No, no, no. It's usually about, well, it's just about 2,000 under the roof, right? So that includes
Mhm.
accounting professionals, vendors, the Woodard team. So everybody is about 2,000.
And this is not like with QuickBooks Connect or Intuit Connect. That was for big firms. This is for everybody.
It's for everybody. We have our we the sessions and the programming that we put together is for firms of all sizes.
Yes. So if you're brand new at this, don't think that you shouldn't go because, well, I'm so new. This is where you find the people that you can sit down with them at their table and ask them the questions.
That's right. And the people leading the sessions are practitioners, right? So that's a huge advantage. And yeah, it's a great event. It's a great event. I feel like it gets better every year. So
Oh, I agree. And
Yep.
I know how much work they are. And now you have Brandy helping you out.
we
She's
do.
a cutie pie.
She's fantastic. She's our resident unicorn. Well, I would say our whole team is a team of unicorns. To be perfectly honest, I think every member of the Woodard team is exceptional at what they do. So
Well, I
Joe,
think you have a great leader in Joe. I mean,
we do for sure,
you know,
and we all believe in the vision of Woodard and the vision, mission, and purpose, and we love what we do. We're really lucky and
'cause,
blessed.
nobody leaves there. Once, I mean, you've been there a long time. I know Patricia's been there a long time.
Yeah,
People don't leave when they start working for Joe. So it must be doing something right.
it's a great place, great culture, great people. Love it.
So do you have any last words of inspiration for our listeners today?
Oh my gosh, keep watching Bookkeepers on Fire.
Yes.
Oh, thanks for that. All right.
No, this has been super fun. This has been probably one of the most fun podcasts I've ever been on. So
Oh yeah,
thank you for having me.
everybody comes on and they go, we're going to talk about. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Don't worry, we got you. That's what I say all the time. Could we have a show list? I'm like, don't worry, you don't need one.
right,
It'll be
right.
fun.
It's
I would say my parting words are be kind. I think that there's a lot of hard things in the world, and if you lead with kindness, you're making the world a better place every time you do it. So yeah, I think that's what I'd like to say.
and look for your 4-leaf clovers. They're everywhere.
And look, right, they're everywhere. They're all four-leaf clovers.
Great. All right, Donna, why don't you sign us off?
Sure. Well, thank you for watching Bookkeepers on Fire today. If you're a bookkeeper ready to lead, to serve, to ignite change, hit subscribe and share this. And stay tuned. Until next time, stay fired up and intentional. Bye for now.